Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Katie, and today we are talking about the most traumatizing experience I had at Burning Man. This was just towards the end of the trip, right after Emma left. It's not her fault though. It's not her fault. Okay, so we are talking about this little Indian dude named Happy. He literally tormented me and wouldn't leave me alone. So here's what happened. So on Wednesday, I think Wednesday night, me and Emma, we were in the playa at this event, this stage, and Emma was kind of going through it right now, so we were chilling out in the back, and her nose was just running like crazy, and she really needed a baby wipe. So I got up, looked around, and I asked these two Indian guys, because they were the closest guys, and it ended up being Happy. I asked them if they had any baby wipes, and they're like, yeah, absolutely. So they gave me some baby wipes. I gave it to Emma, and then while she was like cleaning herself up, I was talking to Happy, you know, because that's what I do. I'm really nice. I talk to people. I'm open with people, especially at a burn. Like, I am full acceptance. So I'm talking to Happy. I'm like, hey, how are you doing? Thank you so much for this baby wipe. I really appreciate it. Yeah, just leave Emma alone. Like, oh yeah, I'm at Beats Boutique over here on Esplanade. You should totally come over and check out our boutique. I would totally love to like dress you up and find you some cute stuff. He's like, oh my god, yeah, that would be great. Oh my gosh, I will go over there. That's awesome. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. And then we talk, and then cool, great. Didn't think much of it. Got Emma up, we head back to camp, collect ourselves, go out for the night. Next day, on Thursday morning, the Happy, while me and Emma are cleaning up and getting all her stuff together so she can go home and I can leave, Happy shows up at the van. And I don't know how he found my van, but he shows up at the van and he's like, hey, like, you told me like I would really appreciate if you'd like try to dress me up and stuff. I was like, yeah, absolutely, like, yeah, for sure. We're actually leaving here pretty soon, so how about later when I get back? He's like, okay, yeah. I'm like, okay, let's do 8. I just threw it in the ballpark. He's like, okay, cool. So that was around 11. I go do my day. I leave the festival, go fill up my fuel, my water, my gas, my everything, empty my gray water tank, empty my toilet, like just everything. Come back at 8:30, realize, you know, I missed him, but I wasn't really too worried about it. I was like, it is what it is, you know. So I didn't go searching for him, but so yeah, so that night started. I went out with my friends, this group that I just met, and we had a great time, like fantastic. We went to the bay stage and blah blah blah. Had a great time. So Friday morning, then Friday morning I slept all day Friday, and then got up around like 4 and started getting ready, and then in the middle of me getting ready, Happy shows up. He shows up at my van. He's like, hey, like, I missed you yesterday. I came back at 8, you weren't here. I was like, yeah, I didn't show up till 8:30. Sorry about that. He's like, okay, cool. Can we do the dress up thing? Like, I want to look really nice because I want to see Monolink tonight. And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. You know, I'm really nice. Like, it's just a little Indian dude. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll help you, dude. So we get ready. I put a little tattoo thing on him, and I don't find him much from Beats Boutique because the boutique's a little dry. But then I don't see anybody else at the camp, but he's like adamant. He's like, okay, well, let's go see the Monolink concert, you know, down in the playa. I'm like, okay, yeah, let's go. Me and you, yeah, sure. So we go, and it's a great time. He gave me a little bit of Molly, and he got a little bit of Molly, so I was rolling, and it was really good. Like, I had a really good time rolling. We were right there on the stage. We were dancing. Not dancing together, because I don't do that. I like to dance by myself. don't touch me. And he seemed pretty good about it. But he did, like, every now and then he would hover me, like, just get really close to me, and I'm like, dude, you're fucking hovering. Yeah, so that concert was great. Came back, relaxed, you know, let the roll relax. He comes back with me to the van. I did give him a little kiss. I did, because that's the least I can do for, that's how it's just a kiss. It was just a little kiss, and I was rolling. So yeah, I appreciated him. Came back, we hung out for a while in the van, smoked a blunt. Yeah, it was okay. Like, I was okay with him being there. And then he's like, well, let's go out again, like, let's go. And I'm like, well, I want to go as a group. I want to see what's going on with my camp, so, like, hold on. I was like, okay. And I ended up meeting up with, you know, Taylor and Dylan and a bunch of other people of the camp, and we start hanging out, just hanging out in the dome throughout the night. And Happy is there too, and then we decide to go out and go find a stage to go dance at, and Happy goes with us. It starts out with like 8 of us, but only half of us like bass music and the other half doesn't like bass music. They like house music. So we went to the bass stage where Ganja White Knight was playing, and I didn't even know he was gonna play until I got there, and I was like, fuck yeah, we're going to this, like, we're gonna see this. Yeah, so by the Ganja White Knight concert, it was me, Happy, Taylor, and Dylan, just 4 of us. The good thing is that Taylor and Dylan are not super goo goo gaga little couples, like, they like their space, but freaking Happy was all over me. He was just hovering me and just petting me, and just, I don't know, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. But I'm not going to be forward. I'm going to just give you signs. I'm going to stop giving you eye contact. I'm going to stop talking to you. I'm going to give you short answers. I'm not going to do those things. But he wasn't catching on to it. And every now and then, like, if he was dancing too close to me, I would look at him and I'd be like, you're hovering. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. And he would back away for 5 minutes and then get right back on it. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Get out of my bubble. Get out of my bubble. But I was being nice. You know, like, I was continuing to push him. I'm like, dude, stop. I'm not gonna grind on you. I'm not gonna dance with you. I'm not gonna let you pet me. Stop touching me. But I was nice. You know, I was just giving those signs. I wasn't saying those things. Anyways, we stayed out most of the night. We came back. I knew Happy had every intention to come sleep in the van with me, and I was not gonna let that happen. So we got back. I put my bike up. He's looking at me, and I'm like, hey, look, I want to sleep alone. He's like, oh, like, I want to sleep alone. I don't want you sleeping with me. Okay, I want you to go home. And he's looking at me, he's like, oh, but please, but please. I'm like, no. And then I go to the van. He shows up 5 minutes later after I'm like winding down. And he's like, are you sure? Can we please just like snuggle for an hour and then I'll go? I'm like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to snuggle with you. I don't want it. Go home. I want to sleep alone. I want my space. And I had to beg him to leave. I had to beg him. He just gave me to do pouty eyes. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck about you, okay? So, finally get him to go away. I sleep all day. So this is Saturday. Yeah. Sleep all day Saturday. I think he shows up. He shows up later on as I'm getting ready after I sleep. And he's like, hey, I'm going to the burn, because this is the night for the Burning Man, the burn of the man. And he's like, hey, I need to go do this real quick. Let's go to the burn together, and I'll be back. And me, I'm just like, yeah, sure, okay, yeah, I'll be here. Okay, yeah, I'll see you at the burn, No, had no intention of meeting up with him at all. But I got him to go away. He went away. I met up with the rest of my team, the rest of our camp. We had a plan to all of us like 60 of us to come together and walk to the man together. So we did that. It was great. It was truly magical. Everybody was at the burn. All of the beautiful cars and people, and the burn was amazing with a million fireworks, and it was great. Didn't see Happy. Came back, hung out for the rest of the night. I don't think Happy showed up, and stayed with Taylor, yeah, the rest of the night. We ended up going to the base stage super late at night. It was like 3 o'clock. It wasn't until 3 till we left the camp, because we were trying to have like a little party at our camp, you know, kind of enjoy it a little bit. But then we gave up. We're like, all right, let's go out. So went out, stayed up all night, saw the sunrise, was up till 8 a.m. The most magical morning. And then Sunday, so come back 8 a.m. Sunday morning. Sunday morning, I go to bed. I sleep all day Sunday until 6:30 p.m. Yeah, don't get mad at me for sleeping, okay? I like to sleep. I'm a cranky bitch if I don't sleep. So I gotta sleep. A lot of people told me at the festival, they're like, how could you sleep while you're here? Like, this is just another day for me. Another day. Another day that I need sleep. Anyways, not the point. That was a little side note for me sleeping. Okay, so Sunday. Sunday comes around. I'm getting ready. They have the temple burn Sunday night. Happy shows up, of course, and he's like, hey, do you want to smoke a blunt? And I'm like almost done getting ready. And I'm like, at this point, I'm like, God, why is he here? Okay, fine. Let's just be nice. We can smoke a blunt. He's giving me free weed. Okay. So I let him in. We smoke some weed. I'm like really short with him at this point. I am not making any eye contact with him. I'm keeping my head down. I'm keeping my answers short. He's asking me a lot of questions. I'm not asking him any questions. He's just not catching it. Well, then the blunt ends. He leaves. He realized the temple burn is going on. He's like, oh my God, we're missing it. And at this point, I didn't care. I didn't care. I was like, oh, okay, well, go ahead without me. You don't need me. Like, go ahead. I'm gonna take a couple more minutes here. Like, go ahead. And he's like, no, I want to go with you. And just very, very adamant of it. So he waits for me. I get ready. We start biking over to the temple burn. We could literally see it. It's burning. And on the way there, I'm up here. My head, I am so pissed off. Like, why can't this dude just leave me alone? Like, clearly, if he would tell me, I forgot to mention this, but he's told me, like, by this time, he's told me several times, I want to make love to you. I want to make love to you. And I'm like, well, I don't want you to make love to me. And if I wanted you to make love to me, I would have made it happen. Trust me, I would have made it happen. So at this point, we're driving to the temple burn. While we're driving our bikes, he actually cuts me off into this high patch of sand and gets me to stop. Like, he doesn't leave me any room to go around it. I stopped and just contemplated of what to do. What can I do to get away from him? Go to the bathroom. No, he's gonna wait for me. Try to bike away. No, he's gonna follow me. Even if I turn off my lights, he's gonna follow me. Fall over. He's gonna stop and try to help me. What can I do? I'm like, fuck. So we get closer to the burn. I'm really quiet with him. I decide to stop at this arch structure to stop and sit up there. He stops with me. And as soon as he stops with me, I get off my bike. I go to him and I'm like, hey, I need to be alone right now. Okay? I really need to be alone right now. I need you to leave me alone. I need you to go. And he looks at me and he's like, what do you mean? Like, no, I want to be here with you. I'm like, well, I don't want you here with me. And I turn around and I go sit on the arch structure with some other people. You know, there's people around. 60 seconds later, he walks up. I get up. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, come on, let's go to Temple Burn and let's go have fun. We'll take some drugs and it'll be fun. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. He's like, well, what happened? We were having such a good time. I'm like, that was all drug induced. I was rolling, okay? I was rolling. He's like, no, I was there. It was the whole experience. I'm like, that's not true. I'm like, no, it was all drug induced. I don't like you. I don't want to be with you. Please leave me alone. I walk away again. I'm like contemplating, what the fuck do I do? He follows me again. I tell him off again. I'm like, look, dude. He said, this is what he said. He said, well, I like to be around you. I love being around you. It makes me feel so good. I'm like, well, I don't like being around you. You deplete me. You're crushing me. You're suffocating me. Go away. I walk away again. 5 minutes later, he's following me still. At this point, I'm at it. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? What the fuck am I supposed to do? I turn around and I say this straight to his face. I was like, what the fuck do I have to do to make you go away? Do I need to kick you? Do I need to give you a black eye? Do I need to throw you on the ground? Because I fucking will. He looks stunned, just absolutely stunned. And he walked away. He's like, okay, I'm gonna go to Burn. I'm like, okay, bye. I go back to my bike. And where my bike was, I mean, we walked away a little bit. Where my bike was, some police officers were there, and I wish they were there before, because I totally would have just gone up to him and been like, hey, can you make this Indian guy leave me alone? But by the time I saw them, I already handled the situation. So I get on my bike, I ride straight back to the camp, and I am like, just stunned. Like, wow, I've never had to threaten a guy to leave me alone. So I go into the dome, and most of my friends are laying in there. We're all exhausted. So they're all sleeping in there. I get on the couch, I fall asleep. I wake up, he's sitting there. Fucking Happy is sitting there. He goes up and tries to touch me. And I'm like, don't fucking touch me. I get up. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here? What the fuck are you doing here? He's like, come on, like, let's talk about this. Like, I'm like, we did talk about it. He said, no, you yelled at me. I'm like, I did not yell at you. You guys, I did not yell. Okay, I yelled when I threatened. Yeah. But I didn't yell. I kept a very calm voice. My voice was never raised. Well, I told him to fuck off. I run to my van. I jump in. I lock all the doors. 2 seconds later, knock. Knocks on the back door. I lock my side door. Knock on the side door. 10 minutes of fucking knocking. I was so scared. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm trapped in this van with this man that won't leave me alone. So I just turn up my music like really high, turn on some My Chemical Romance, and just cry for about 20 minutes. Knocking finally stops. I decide that, you know what, let's leave. Like, I'm done. I'm done with this experience. I'm not supposed to leave until the morning, but you know what, let's leave. So I get up and I start cleaning up the van, putting stuff away, making plans. By this point, me and Tally have agreed that I'm going to help them get out of the festival. So I come out, Indian guy isn't there, thank God. I tell Tally and Dylan, I'm like, hey, like, let's leave tonight. And they're totally down. They say, okay, great, awesome, we're mostly packed up, like, let's get everything in there. Okay, great. So as we're packing up, I get everything in, I'm putting the bikes in. Guess who shows up? Happy. Happy shows up. At this point, all my friends know what has happened. I've told Dylan, I've told Frank, and I've told Tally of exactly what this boy has done to me. So he shows up as we're all doing this stuff. I look at him and I don't even acknowledge him. I'm like, what am I supposed to do. So he continues trying to talk to me, and Dylan and Telly are trying to talk to him like, hey, look, you really need to leave her alone. You need to go. She's not having it right now. You need to go. And he's just like, no, I just want to talk to her. No, we can still have a good time and go out. We should all just go out and have a good time. And at this point, me, Dylan, and him are talking. He's looking at me, and I'm like, what the fuck do I have to do? Do I need to throw you on the ground? Do I need to kick you? Do I need to make you hurt? Because I don't really want to do that. This is Burning Man. This is supposed to be a violent, free place. Dylan's trying to get him to go. Trying to get him to go. He finally goes. Finally. I didn't have to kick him and throw him on the ground. I should have, though. I should have fucking done it. God, I wish I should have fucking done it. We all should have just threw him on the ground and kick him. Ugh. God, I'm so pissed off. I'm so sorry. God, and he was a little guy. I could have totally taken him. Anyways, he left. Thank God. He did give me a couple bracelets, and I ended up giving those away to some other people. They were nice bracelets, so I gave those away because I didn't want anything to do with him. So yeah. So that was my traumatizing event that happened at Burning Man. To be honest, it's actually the last place I thought it would happen, but it did. I hope this doesn't give you a... Burning Man is good. It's good. But every event has its negative sides. Always has those negative comers. Those people that aren't there for the atmosphere. They're there for the girls, the sex, which is the girls, I mean, anal sex. Sex, the music, drugs, rock and roll. That's what they're there for. They're not there for the people. They're there for themselves. These people suck. Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening to my horrible story. I hope you never do this to a female ever. If she is not giving you eye contact or talking to you in full sentences, that means she wants you to leave her alone. And before you start questioning and stuff, I just recommend you just go, because you will keep pushing and pushing and pushing until she might actually throw you on the ground and kick you. Anyways, I love you guys. Have a great day.